Hare Hare Krishna, Siddhanta Saraswati Kaswami Maharaja Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nishaya Shilkar Dastar Pura ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Prem se Kakusha Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Bhagavapanath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Vardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shamalpur Dham ki, Jagannathpur Dham ki, Gam Dhamai ki, Yamuna Dhamai ki, Tulasi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Shri Harinama Sankirtana ki, Radha ki, Samarita Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Pramanande, Om Guru Stolza Samjivachasi, Om Guru Stolza Samjivachasi, Om Guru Stolza Samjivachasi, Om Guru Tishi Guru Shubaram, Om Guru Tishi Prabhupada. Kalpata Vyasaki Asin Vyavacha Pachitanam Pavanam Vaishnam Namo Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome. My name is Krishna Dulal Das. I'd like to welcome all of you to our Sunday Feast program. Maybe I'll start by asking, is there anybody here for the first time? Coming for the first time? Raise your hands back there. Welcome. Over here too. What's your name, Prabhu?
My name is Yash.
Yash. Welcome, Yash. How did you find out about our little gathering here?
I came with a friend. Yes.
Great. It's a secret. We don't like to let other people know that we're getting together, so you got here through a friend. That's great. That's how it works. Okay. And you, Prabhu?
I'm Chindan.
Chindan?
Chindan Sudha. Yeah.
Chindan Sutta. Hare Krishna. And how did you come to hear of this place?
So Guru Prasad called me.
Guru Prasad Prabhu, right? He spread the secret to you. He told you as well. Hare Krishna. Welcome. With that being said, I wanted to give a very warm welcome for our very own Guru Prasad Prabhu. Thank you for coming back. We thought we would never see him again when he came back. He was in New York. He couldn't stay away for too long from Shishigornitai, I guess. So, welcome, thank you. And I guess we have some devotees also online, so I just want to ask. Madalila Mohini?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Madalila Mohini, welcome.
Haribol!
Haribol! So, today, well, we just finished with doing Kirtan and Aarti, and you all, I'm sure, are familiar with this. Nobody's, I think, experiencing this kind of culture for the first time, Vedic culture, right? When we go to our temples, this is our tradition, we chant and we worship the Lord as well. And so here at our ISKCON temples, the tradition is that after we do that, we usually have some discussion on the science of Krishna consciousness. So we'll have a little presentation, and following that, we'll have a little more Kirtan, and then some prasadam, which is food that has been offered to the Lord. We'll share some prasadam. But at the same time, we're also going to have a kids program. We posted, or a youth program, let's say. Not kids, we have youth as well, not just kids. And we have some dramas that we're going to try to work on, prepare. We have some coloring for those who are artistically inclined and would like to participate in that. So that'll happen at the same time as the class. And then we'll all join together after and participate in Kirtan. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today, His Grace Mandala Rama Prabhu. Mandala Rama Prabhu is the director at Govinda's here, which is our restaurant. It's been running for many, many decades, which has been inaugurated by Shankar Prabhu, right, who's been here for many, many years. And so the legacy continues. Govinda's is open from Monday to Saturday, 12 to 7 p.m. And Mandala Rama Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami, also known as the Walking Monk. And Bhakti Marg Maharaj is also the GBC for Ottawa as well, Governing Body Commissioner. And Mandala Rama Prabhu's passions, he's also my brother-in-law. Did I mention that as well? He's my little brother. So he has apart from having a passion for cooking, he's also a very enthusiastic coordinator when it comes to book distribution. So I think he was telling me that some Bhagavatam sets went out yesterday. There's a book that went out, whole volume set, right, that went out to some people who came, devotees who came for the first time to the temple. So he's very enthusiastic about that. And we're looking forward to, he's here also with his family, his little daughter, Avatar, and good wife, with Purumi as well. Right, Krishna? Yes. So without further ado, we'll pass the microphone over to you. And children, who's the youth? Let's get all the youth to stand up. Right, stand up. Stand up. Children and youth, stand up. Okay? And follow Mother Vraja-premika. We're going to go downstairs into the dungeon. Okay? Avatar, you can come too.
What's the qualification of a youth? What's the age?
12 and under.
Okay.
12 and under. Okay? Okay.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So we're going to do a nice little song, just to get us in the mood of Vrindavan Dham. And just like this place is an embassy of the spiritual world, and pretty much like Vrindavan Dham. It's one of the embassies of Vrindavan. So let's try to imbibe that same mood by chanting Jaya Radha Madhava. It'll just be call and response. So I'll say a line, you guys repeat, and anyone can play the mridanga? You play? Okay. You can play. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunda Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunda Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivardhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Yashoda Nandana Brajadana Rangana, Yashoda Nandana Brajadana Rangana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajana Nandana Yamuna Tira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radhe. So that was just to get us in the mood for hearing some transcendental sound vibration. Today, we're going to have a couple things, and we're going to go all over the map, which we're going to watch some TV today. Yeah, so I see we got more people coming in, so feel free to move on closer. We're all friends. Come as close as you can, just because there'll be more people to come in the evening. And we're going to read something from the Bhagavad Gita, the 4th chapter. But the topic today is going to be transcendental entertainment, or spiritual entertainment. There's many different types of entertainment, and with regards to that, maybe we can pull up a video on YouTube called The Spark of Life. And that'll tie in a little later, but there's many different types of entertainment. I'm sure everyone here likes to be entertained and some enjoyment. So what are some types of entertainment that some of you may participate in? I'll give a hint to one. It starts with an F and ends with a book. Facebook. Some people get entertained by Facebook. Netflix is one. Yeah, we can totally get absorbed in Netflix. I've had that, but we're gonna tie that all in to upgrade your Netflix account, not to multiple accounts, but to something better, actually. A couple other YouTube. Yes, that's like Insta. Oh yeah, the
America
Insta.
Got Talent.
America Got Talent, yeah. YouTube, that's a whole world in itself. You can start on something Krishna conscious, you can be watching some videos of Prabhupada memories, and then somehow, after an hour, you'll just wind up in a zone where it's talking about skateboarding and something all over the place. So you can really get sucked into YouTube. And we want to find ways in which we can be entertained, but that don't drag us down. They don't drag our consciousness down. And it seems like they're trying to entertain some of the kids downstairs as well by having a kids program, a children's program, where they can feel inspired in their and get encouraged in spiritual life. So before we dive into that, it'll be Spark of Life by ISKCON Singers. Just type in ISKCON. Maybe if we have any prasad in the back, some fruit, we can pass to Boris. Boris, so nice to see you.
Sorry, a little bit nervous today.
Of course. Boris is a friend that I met yesterday. He came to the temple, and him and his wife were extremely eager, I want to know, what is life all about? And how can we find happiness? What is God? So he was the one that actually took the Srimad Bhagavatam set with them. So give him a round of applause. Boris, we welcome you, and thank you for coming. Sometimes, the baby needs some fresh air, so we'll send you with a couple of treats home, and hopefully we can connect soon.
We will. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to meet you guys.
And so we'll be reading from the 4th chapter, and it's in a series of verses which are extremely popular in the Bhagavad Gita, but it will talk about some transcendental engagement that you can get into, some transcendental entertainment. And does anyone know the verse from chapter 4, text 9? Anyone know what shloka that is? It goes, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo viditattvataha punar tvakva deham punar janma naitimam iti suarjuna. So the translation, and before I get into translation, I will offer my respectful obeisances to all the great teachers in the parampara. Om Agyana Timidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. That means, I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, who opened my eyes as the torch light of knowledge. Hare Krishna. And so, what does that verse mean? means one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So the mind naturally wants to be engaged and entertained. And usually, how we've been trained up in this world, that the mainstay of entertainment is Netflix, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, so on and so forth. And even just things like reading books. That's a source of entertainment that people get into. But it can be very mundane, just, fiction, fantasy, so on and so forth. Maybe we can extract nice lessons from it, but we want something that's going to have some substance to it, that really helps us transform our character and our heart. And understanding the transcendental nature and activities of Krishna. This is something that one could totally absorb their lives in by hearing this transcendental knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, and especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is something that really, if we hone into, hear, get absorbed in, it can really change the character of the individual. And ultimately, people have this mistake of, why would God come as a man? When they hear of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke it, he has a human body, so on and so forth. So they have to understand that Krishna is a transcendental personality. He's God, and God descends for some particular reasons. We talked about that in a couple of verses before this, that Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhita nama dharmasam tadatmanam srijamyaham. That God descends, to reestablish dharma, and to, when there's chaos going on in the world, to kind of rectify that. So, within the purport, Srila Prabhupada describes that the Lord's descent from the transcendental abode is already explained in the 6th verse. One who can understand the truth of this appearance of the personality of Godhead is already liberated from material bondage. So someone who actually understands that Krishna is the personality of Godhead, and all of that, his activities are transcendental. They're not mundane. We sometimes, when we're watching TV, there are these very attractive shows in which, what's this show? I don't know, The Bachelor or something like this, that there's a bunch of scandalous activities that attract the mind. We want to see, what's the drama happening, and so on and so forth. So, when we hear of Krishna's activities, there's lots of drama, there's lots of excitement, enticement that goes on. But it's not of the mundane world. It's not stuff that causes, gossip and, lower discussions. It's really to entice the mind and attract it to Krishna, to God. And seeing that, one who understands that this is all transcendental. If someone just understands that easy statement, that all of Krishna's activities are completely transcendental, they're liberated from material bondage. It's as simple as that, easy as that. And therefore, they return to the kingdom of God immediately after quitting this present material body. Such liberation of the living entity from material bondage is not easy. It's not at all easy. The impersonalists and the yogis attain liberation only after so much trouble and many, many births. Even then, the liberation they achieve, merging into the impersonal Brahman, Brahmajyoti of the Lord, is only a partial, and there's risk of returning to this material world. But the devotees, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attains to the abode of the Lord after quitting their body, and does not run the risk of returning to this material world. So one whose consciousness is actually absorbed, we have to become absorbed, and this is what spiritual life is. It's meaning, what am I absorbed in? We have to ask ourselves that. What is my thoughts completely absorbed in? Is it Netflix? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? All these things are begging for our attention. You know, what's the first thing we do when we wake up in the morning?
Checking emails.
Check an email. Okay, that's pretty good. Some might be a little worse. You instantly log on Facebook, and there's all these videos that those are inserted, in the subtle mind, and then that's kind of how we relate to the world, how we relate to others. These little seeds that are planted within the heart. And if we can wake up every morning, depending on when you get up, we have a Srimad Bhagavatam class at 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 till 7, so you can even tune into that, and that can be the first thing you hear here in the morning, and just really switching. What are we getting absorbed in? What are the things that we're letting into our ears? And therefore, if we can somehow or other arrange our life in such a way by which we can be absorbed in spiritual knowledge, in wisdom that inspires the heart and brings us closer to Krishna, then back home, back to Godhead. Easy as that. That's really the process of Krishna consciousness. Now you're going to have a struggle, trying to maintain that, trying to stay absorbed, but at least if you keep that focus, that's where I want to go towards. I want to get absorbed in spiritual subject matters. Then we can find some nourishment, and we won't feel drained by the end of the day after we heard all the gossip, all the jibber jabber on the news. We have a lot of transcendental news. You look up ISKCON News and you'll find wonderful, uplifting stories about the transcendental world, about what devotees are doing in the world, that people are really trying to contribute in a very meaningful way. So, understand Krishna's nature. Krishna's nature and activities. This is how we can really start to change our internal consciousness. So, I think we have a movie possibly ready to play on YouTube. It's a Krishna conscious film. So if anyone likes to watch films, who likes to watch movies here? Don't be shy, it's okay. No one's going to judge you. Why I bring this up actually is because recently, I don't know what it was, maybe it's just because chanting Hare Krishna after some time, and you can judge your spiritual advancement based on how much attracted you are to the material world or material subjects compared to spiritual subjects. That's how you can weigh your spiritual health. And we all got to do that individually. We don't point at others and so on, but we got to see how attractive am I to hear Krishna Katha, hear some wisdom from the Gita, get together with friends and read, so on and so forth. And, like I was saying, naturally we want entertainment, but let's just try to add some entertainment. See, why I said this was because I was watching some Netflix one night. After a long day at work, you want to just relax, do nothing. Maybe this is just a mundane, material man speaking, but... And then after watching whatever it was, I just felt so dissatisfied. There's nothing here. It's totally unenjoyable, and I don't even know why I'm doing it. I'm wasting my time. So then I started looking up Ramayan ISKCON, and then I see this super old school play, like it's all fuzzy, it's not even good picture quality at all, but the substance there was enticing. The Ramayan, the devotees, they put on so much amazing dramatical presentations that it really captured my mind. And Avatar, because my daughter, the kids like to be engaged also. They get so wrapped up in shows, Cocomelon, all these things. If anyone has kids, they know what I'm talking about. But whenever I sit down with her, I'm always like, okay, let's watch something. But it's always something Krishna. So there's this amazing film called Little Krishna on YouTube, which even for adults, it's a good watch. It's really good that one can get totally hear about the transcendental activities of Krishna and so forth. It's like 4 hours, so you can use your time wisely watching that. And then there's the Ramayan in cartoon form where she loves it. Now every single time she sees me, she's like, Dada, can we watch the Ramayan? So. What does she ask you to watch, Gorby? Ramayan also? Yeah? Sometimes. So, we want to instill these these things that bring us closer to Krishna. So then where I looked up was, ISKCON cinemas, so on and so forth. Yes, this one. And this was one that I came across, which was a film that the devotees did. And it's a little old school, so, no, the picture quality is not like 4K HD quality, but it penetrates right to the point of understanding who we are, what's the point of life, why am I here, and what we're doing in this world. And I'll just set it up on this bigger table so everyone can see. This might be the first time you're watching a movie at the Sunday feast, but I hope you guys will like it. It's not so long, it's like 20 minutes, but you guys will like it, and then we're gonna keep going on the conversation after that. Should have a little bit of time just to hear reflections and so on, but these are some ways that we can just really actually get entertained and be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, wisdom, and just purify our entertainment, upgrade our entertainment. That's what we all want to do, isn't it? We all want to upgrade our lives, so we got to upgrade our entertainment, otherwise it's going to drag us down. And then, eventually, you'll just get entertained by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can touch on that afterwards, but that's where we want to go towards. So, hit it, Maestro.
Eternally? Come on, nobody has any experience of that.
But if we depend on our own experience, we'll never understand what's beyond us, because we're limited.
ISKCON Cinema presents A Spark of Life.
For so many days, in so many ways, I've been searching for the key. Watching nature grow, wishing I could know all about the things I see. Seeing life and death in a passing breath, life is such a mystery.
So this is probably from the 70s, when devotees were finding all different ways to attract the public and attract their minds, so.
Well, of course we're limited, no one argues with that. But when people, one by one, contribute new discoveries, then there's progress. Well, just look how far we've come in the last 100 years.
Well, in a way you're right. But what if we want to know something we can't measure or see? Something that's outside our view, outside our grasp? What then?
But in science, nobody imagines anything. We deal with what we can observe, what we can measure, touch, see.
Yeah, that's what the frog was doing. All he could see was his own little well. And from that he thought he could figure out everything. Everything outside his well. Just like in your biology department. They study matter, and from that they try to figure out what life is. I mean, from what they know, they're making theories about what they don't know. Is that knowledge?
I don't know, Peter. Everything you've been telling me goes against what I've been studying for years.
That may be so, but it makes sense, doesn't it?
Maybe. It's something to think about. Anyway, I got a biology lab. I gotta go. So I'll see you later, Peter.
See you later, Mark. They're trying to figure out what life is.
4.5 billion years ago, Earth's molten surface was covered with lava and gases. As it cooled through the millennia,
So
the
this is
gases
the
condensed.
understanding of the
Torrential
scientists,
rains fell
and they're going to
and
insert
mixed with
spiritual knowledge.
carbon monoxide, ammonia, methane, and hydrogen to form what is known as the primordial soup. Giant electrical storms and ultraviolet radiation charged the mixture, and in an orderly and natural way, carbon compounds, the building blocks of life, formed. This is how non-living matter transformed itself into what we call life. chemicals that can reproduce themselves. What did he say life is? Chemicals that can reproduce themselves.
From what they know, they're making theories about what they don't know. Is that knowledge?
Let's see. Today's lab's about metamorphosis, the life cycle of Lepidoptera, and then a short lecture. I guess I'll start by studying its wing venation. I used to wonder what made things alive. That's what Peter was talking about all through lunch. Hey, Peter, where were you?
Class went overtime. Henderson.
Boy, you're really into it, huh?
I sure am. It's the best course I've ever had. We're studying the Gita.
The Gita? So what's that? Is that your text?
Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita as it is. It was written down 5,000 years ago in the Sanskrit language.
The Sanskrit language? Well, you really found something to chew on, eh, Peter?
Have I ever?
Why don't you have an apple instead?
Come on, Mark. I'm really excited about this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it about?
Well, here, I'll show you. From childhood to youth to old age, the material body is always changing. But within the body is an anti-material particle. It never changes, but always stays the same.
Yeah, I've heard of antimatter.
Yeah, antimatter has qualities exactly opposite to the qualities of matter. Material things come and go, but antimatter remains the same. It's permanent.
That's not what I heard. That must be the Gita's theory, huh?
It's not just a theory. It's something we can perceive. We can actually perceive antimatter.
How's that?
Well, by understanding that although the body's constantly changing, you're still the same person. You don't change. So the thing is, who are you? The one who's not changing.
Well, it's just my memory. I can remember when I was younger, but that doesn't really explain it. It's just a function of the brain. And the reason I'm the same person as I always was is because of the genetic code that keeps working inside all the cells in my body. So the new cells...
If I told...
I can remember when I was younger, but that doesn't really explain it. It's just a function of the brain. And the reason I'm the same person as I always was is because of the genetic code that keeps working inside all the cells in my body. So the new cells are just like the old ones. It's all due to the genetic code.
So you are a genetic code?
Well,
the genetic code is just a mechanism. It ensures that your cells change in a uniform way. But does it explain who you are? Does it explain your continuing identity?
So you're saying that my body is matter and that I'm antimatter. And that matter is not conscious, but antimatter is.
Exactly. Without the anti-material particle, the body's dead. The Gita says this particle is alive and makes the body appear alive. The body grows because this living force is in it.
Since the living force is in it, the body continues to grow. living things are in constant flux, growing, dividing. Gradually the whole organism changes.
From childhood to youth to old age, the material body is always changing. But within the body is an anti-material particle. It never changes, but always stays the same.
You're still the same person, although your body continues to change. Life is strictly a material phenomenon. Carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen, 15 other elements. All these elements, as you know, are common. They're found all over the planet. All of the functions of the human body can be explained in terms of the interactions of these chemicals. So, you can see, there's nothing extraordinary going on here. There's no special ingredient called life. The way the chemicals combine makes life seem extraordinary. But really, life is just a complex organization of material elements.
Life isn't produced when chemicals interact. This combination of blood and tissues and organs doesn't make me alive. Well, the only thing you find in the body is chemicals. I mean, what else could it be? If we're just chemicals, then where's the source of all the energy in the body? They've analyzed all the parts and systems, right? Yeah. So, what's alive in the body? Where are you? Think of the body's different parts.
Well, there are bones, nerves, the brain, muscles, lungs, the liver, kidneys, the heart, the circulatory system, corpuscles, the cell, the nucleus, chromosomes, genes, DNA, RNA, and and the atom.
Yes, the atoms in living bodies are the same as those in dead objects. So where are you? Where's the life in these material things?
What we call life is a very complex combination of atoms.
Atoms form molecules, and molecules form cells and organs that have the characteristics of life. But what's the source of energy for these parts? Where is consciousness?
Well, many different parts of the body work together to make me what I am.
But the parts can be replaced with machines. The heart-lung machine, the kidney machine, and you'll still be alive. So where is life? In the machines?
Well, what about the brain?
The brain's like a sophisticated computer. A part to help you see, parts to let you hear and understand, parts to store information, parts to control your motor functions, parts for reasoning and decision making. But where is life? Where are you?
Well, we don't know.
It evades your investigation. You can say life is a chemical reaction, but can you prove it?
Well, you can't prove that antimatter exists in the body.
You can't prove it's there by doing experiments. There's no machine that'll register the living force. But you can experience it. You know, you see the sunshine all over, and you know it's coming from the sun. In that way, you feel consciousness all over your body, because it's coming from the anti-material spark. This particle is even smaller than the atom, and is in the heart of every living being. When blood passes through the heart, it gathers energy from the anti-material spark.
Wow, look at this. 94% of people believe company culture is important to an organization.
Just takes 5 seconds to explain.
It doesn't seem reasonable. The interesting thing is,
The difference between life and death?
well then, how do you explain death?
Well, it's not a loss of chemicals, that's for sure. A dead body has all the same chemicals it had when it was alive. DNA, RNA, enzymes, hormones, everything. So what's the difference between life and death? When the anti-material spark, the living force, leaves, the body's useless. And when that happens, when that force leaves the body, there's nothing in the world you can do to bring life back.
Okay, let's check for any more bleeders. Get a sponge count. Should I loosen the director a bit? Looks good. Alright, we're ready to close. Have some talc for ABDs ready for the dressing. And we'll use clamps on the skin.
I can't get a blood pressure.
What?
There's no electrical activity. The monitor's flat. His heart stopped.
Quick, cool cardiac arrest, code 4. I'll give him cardiac massage. Give him concentrated O2 per mask.
Right.
Any activity at all?
None.
Come on. Come on. Any activity?
No, still none.
Let's try some adrenaline. Keep your eye on the monitor. Watch for any pattern changes after the meds getting.
Right.
The IV's out. You want T5W or no saline?
That was a normal saline.
So let's get no saline.
Any change?
Still flat. How about shock?
Yeah. Get the paddles. Okay, 6 seconds. Set it on 200. Hit it.
There's no tone. Stimulation's ineffective. You can't bring him back. It's all over.
It's finished. There's nothing we can do to save him.
Death, quietly, suddenly makes us bereft. Our brother is now departed, and we commit his body to the ground. Remember, man, that thou art dust, and unto dust thou shalt return. From earth to earth, from ashes to ashes, from dust to dust. Amen.
The lovable object is the imperishable living spark within. No one loves a dead body.
So, biologists now know that life can be explained in terms of the same chemical, physical laws that describe matter. Because, as we have seen, life is just a complex organization of matter. Now, the interesting thing is that in the future, we expect to be able to produce life here in the laboratory by combining, through extremely sophisticated means, these very elements that are found all around us. This will be very exciting. It'll be the culmination of centuries of study and experiment. Now, prior to the 1900s, I want to get into now some of the issues that historically have confronted microbiologists.
We're using material instruments,
Basic obstacles,
so all we can see will be material elements.
problems, the origin of life,
How can we see the living force?
derived from
It's beyond our power to see.
that in nature, organic
They always say, in the future,
produced only
in the future we'll understand, we'll create life.
synthesis by
But it doesn't seem reasonable.
certainly
It seems more like an empty promise.
chemists have synthesized in the laboratory of various complex organic compounds. But this fact does not alter the belief
Matter by itself doesn't seem to have any of the qualities of life. Consciousness, the will to live, direction, desire.
carry out the necessary.
How could matter ever start being conscious of itself?
Such a situation
Even after millions of years.
is possible in a completely inorganic